If you're following Johnny Depp, I'm sure you know he's got a movie coming out at the Cannes Film Festival, the opening movie. It looks really good, but the question is, when will it be released? Not at the festival, but after the festival, and especially the US. So, this article is from Fandom Wire. It's pretty new, from about this week. Let's see what we got. Jean de Barry will be theatrically released in Europe May and September, so that's pretty close. Not every country has confirmed the release date for the movie, but Jean de Barry will be released in France and Switzerland on the same day as its premiere at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival. The film's release in the Netherlands and Spain is also confirmed for September 14th and September 29th, respectively. So it looks like Europe's all for Johnny. It's always the US that's got these issues. And I gotta say, I'm with Europe here. As far as Japan and Asia, well, we don't really get foreign films so much, but I assume if the movie got big enough, Japan would have no issue playing it in the theaters. Maybe it will be here. Who knows? Let's hope. Presumably, the film's release in other European countries will fall between those dates. But that will depend on which distributors the production companies work with for the film's release in those countries. There's also the matter of the movie's reception, as there could be a bidding war for the distribution rights if the film becomes a hit at the 2023 festival. That's exactly what I was saying. If it becomes a huge movie, then maybe it will make it here. A lot of movies make it to Asia and Japan, but generally, they're the biggest of the big. The Disney, the movies with superstars in them, things like that. But of course, once in a while, the more mid-level movies get in there. Will Jean de Barry be theatrically released in the US? That's the question. Given the positive sign that the movie is opening in Cannes, it's likely that producers will want a release date during award season in the United States, which arrives during the fourth quarter of the year. Now, Minamata, I think, ended up being released in the US, but it was so long after the actual debut of the movie, it didn't really have much of an impact. And just my personal take, this seems a little bit more interesting and colorful and better for the general audience than Minamata was. Also, this is opening at a huge festival, so hopefully that'll play a role. After all, the production companies often try to release serious awards contenders as close to the Golden Globes, the Academy Awards, and other ceremonies as possible. As Hollywood loves comeback stories, it's likely that the 2023 Johnny Depp film will be released between October and December in the States, especially if the film lives up to the hype. Imagine that. Imagine it was in December when Aquaman 2 is coming out, and now what? Well, I'm not going to think this would beat Aquaman 2, even if Aquaman 2 doesn't do so good. It's still a DC movie, it's still a Jason Momoa movie, but if it did beat it, I can only imagine how crazy things would get. And I'd root for it. This is history. Seems well made, interesting. Aquaman is some fish in the water about the ocean and random BS to me. No offense. If you like Aquaman and stuff like that, cool. But if you get my drift, this is a little more real. Johnny Depp's Jean de Barry still needs a distributor for the United States, and negotiations will probably happen following the film's release at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival. But there's also a chance the movie will skip theaters and go straight to a streaming service. One possibility is that it'll end up on Netflix. Jean de Barry has already been confirmed to be released on Netflix in France 15 months after the movie's theatrical release. However, the US won't have to wait 15 months, as that long gap is simply because movies aren't legally allowed to be released on streaming services within 15 months of their theatrical release in France. That makes sense. That's old school. Even way back in the day, before streaming and online stuff, there was a law. You had to wait like a year or something after the release. They want to build up the anticipation again or whatever. So that makes sense. And they say if Jean de Barry hits Netflix in the US, chances are it will still release in the winter of 2023. All right, so nice little report here from Fandom Wire, who is pro Johnny. We've got no definitive answer, but it seems like they're pretty positive that this will be released in the US at some point, which would be great. It'd be interesting, and I've just got a gut feeling it'll do better than Minamata. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't subscribe, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.